found a problem already. I change this manifold. There's always the unintended consequences, isn't it? I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. There's two holes there out of the engine. Water's coming straight out, so before I can run up with water in here, I've got to work out how to plug those up. Right, hopefully that's one of them done. This other one, no water came out of that, so I'm not going to block that until I'm sure that water is going to come out. That one there, I have reached for the favourite and kind of semi-threaded it in and semi-chemical metalled. I think it would be okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'll wait until I know if I've got to block that one. But what I'll do is make some kind of almost a bracket that I can put on there that will go on the end to help secure it in. I think it would be alright, but you know, we like belt and braces, don't we? I'm going to take a slight deviation on what I was planning on doing. I've had a bit of an issue with the build trolley. One of the wheels, I noticed it was a bit of an angle when I was trying to move it. What's happened is the sort of hub, if you like, has cracked, and it's allowing it to, like the bearing, to move around. So obviously, whilst it's like that, I don't want to be moving it around because I don't want it to break entirely and potentially end up in a right pickle. So I've ordered some new caster wheels, which should be here in a couple of days. So I'm kind of doing some odds and ends that obviously do need doing, but I was planning on doing a bit later. First one, and thanks to Simon for this, because I was asking on one of the forums, one of the Locost forums, and Simon's answered about this sort of steering wheel, whether I can get an IVA pass with a wheel like this with a cover, or if I have to go buy a you know, an OEM steering wheel. It's not that long ago since he did his IVA and it passed with just a cover over a steering wheel like this. So you won't be surprised to know I'm 3D printing. So that's my first draft. And we're just printing a little practice one there. Chatting to Simon, he well, you know, online chatting, said that he printed one of these. I can't remember the material, but it was a hard plastic as long as it's radiused. I've just had a look at the IVA rules, and now obviously he's passed the IVA, so you know what he says should be right. But having just read the documentation, it implies it would rather not only have the, you know, the radius things on, but it be soft as well. So at the moment I'm just printing with some of this gold stuff I had left over, PLA, but I will print with this TPU, which is like a rubbery stuff, just as a belt and braces really. To be quite frank, as I said to you, I don't have any issue really with IVA. You know, I think it's an important thing to do, but there are some things in the IVA that don't really make a whole lot of sense, like this steering wheel thing. To my mind, if a car's fitted with full like race harnesses, you can't move. Why does it matter if the steering wheel has a soft or hard middle? Because you're never going to impact the steering wheel anyway. But that's my 2 pennies worth. You know, the rules are what they are, and you know, we've got to jump the hoops, haven't we? Just like lots of other things, I suppose. There we are. So that's that printed out. So I've got to clean all the little wispy bits off, but I think that will do the trick. Got rounded edges. I don't know if you can see from there. That's got a reasonable bit of give to it. I think that would do the trick. It's in red for the sole reason that red is the only colour of the TPU I've got. Maybe should get some black, but let's face it, this isn't staying on once the IVA is done. I'll just glue that on with a glue that I can remove later. we're back to experiments with acrylic. Well, hopefully this isn't an experiment. Hopefully this will be the final thing. So I've roughly cut out, well, it's a bit bigger than it needs to be, hopefully, in acrylic. I've left the protective layers on. Hopefully that's going to be okay. Got our 3D print in there. So let's get the oven on. Put that on top of there. And get the oven on and see how it goes. I've given that about 10 minutes to kind of heat soak. I don't think we've got any sort of, no, I mean that just feels like it is when it's cold, so I'll give this a few more degrees. You might be wondering why, obviously when I played around before and I found about 110, this is different stuff, different acrylic, and I wasn't 100% sure all acrylics will be the same temperature. So I thought best to go up slowly rather than end up with a pool of plastic in the bottom of my oven. We're up to 115 and I think it's just starting to get plasticky. Warm on my fingers, you wouldn't be surprised to know. I think it's nearly there. I'm going to give it 10 more degrees and then we'll whip it out. And I think I'll put some oven gloves on. Right. Let's see what happens. Well, that's bent very easily. I guess I hold it for a bit in shape till it cools down and sets. This is all guesswork, isn't it? Oh, it's quite warm. Give that 5 minutes. I'll play my game again. See if it's going to fit. Okay, right on the curve. Ah. Got a big gap on the top. What's happened there? Let's try the other one. Right, so Mr. Cockup's come to town. Why aren't those fitting? That's the bit I cut out. Yeah, so it's pretty well the same as the bit I cut out, maybe very slightly smaller. I think I know what's happened. Yeah, of course, I forgot to take into account the thickness of the cutting disc, which is a few millimeters, isn't it? Ah. Now obviously when I put edging on this, it's going to go out a bit further. Will the edging be enough to make it fill the space, or do I need to do a new one? Not really too sure. I still haven't really decided what I'm doing for edging here, though I'm now erring on the suggestion from Simon of just where this is a bit too thick, it's just grinding it away a little bit to kind of make this fit the edging rather than get edging to fit this. But you know, I suppose it doesn't matter which way around you do it as long as it works. Yeah, it's gonna have to be for another day because it's too damn hot to go out in the garage and start cutting stuff and get covered in dust. Oh dear. So it appears that one of my neighbours, and I thought I got on all right with all my neighbours, that one of my neighbours isn't happy with me building a car. Nobody's bothered to come and speak to me to say I'm making noise and upsetting them, because obviously if they came and just had a quick chat, we would sort it all out. But oh no, gone straight to official complaint. Arseholes. Perhaps I shouldn't call them arseholes. But this is a sort of a question. Has anyone else had an issue like this? So obviously that letter's from my local borough council. I've had a chat with them this morning. It looks pretty unlikely that it's actually even me causing the noise, because there's been a house the other side been having a load of building work. So I think, as per usual, the grubby bloke who's got dirty fingernails is getting the blame for every bit of noise in the neighbourhood. Anyway, but point is I'm trying to get at, has anybody had anything like this? I've rung them up, chatted, they were sort of helpful, but they can't actually give you a whole lot of information. So anyone knows anything, the process of this sort of thing, anything I need to know would be helpful, you know, comments below and all that. Anyway, I got today's work done and it's time to get out in the garage myself, quietly. So I'll just show you the bits and bobs I've been doing out here, just so this video doesn't look like all I've done is bend bits of plastic. So exhaust is all on. I try and explain this box thing I'm on about. Obviously exhaust is that way round because the diffuser eventually will be coming up here. So I need to leave that space clear. So box I'm on about because obviously I need to put the number plate on here somewhere. So I need to make some kind of box that comes over here, or even just the bottom part, to put the number plate and probably have the fog and the reverse light on. So what I'm thinking is this connects it inside the box, so the exhaust basically comes out, I suppose, everywhere. But then saying that, of course, that doesn't resolve this issue here with this edge or this edge. Maybe I might have to redo the cover I've done for the engine that did come down here. Maybe I'm going to have to do the cover higher up. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It does need a bit of thinking, doesn't it? Anyway, I've also resolved, I got the plumbing wrong for the fuel reg. I decided anyway, because the fuel reg I had was one that was knocking around the garage, which I didn't think was a wise idea. So I bought myself one of these Turbo Smart ones. And, you know, we talk about unintentional consequences. Well, I'd got the plumbing wrong. I'd put the reg in after the high pressure pump, but before the fuel rail, where it actually seems the pump goes to should go directly to the fuel rail, and the reg goes on the return line. I'm not too sure why that makes any difference anyway, but the unintended consequence means I've got plenty of room this side to mount the regulator, where if you remember over that side, because of the gearbox bracket and reservoir and filter and all that, it was getting awfully busy around this area. So it's actually quite useful to be able to relocate that one round there. Much more room for it. I've just started trying to tie in the hoses and things across the back. You can see the rest of it is an utter mess. So you might notice the car is outside, and having seen that I got some neighbour moaning, you may wonder why it's out here. Well, I'm going to do a bit more work on those front wings, so I'll do that inside the garage. I'm going to have another go at bending these two. Hopefully it's going to work this time, because this is the last bit of acrylic I've got. What I've done is to try and make sure it's central, just mark top and bottom, although of course trying to measure across halfway is quite tricky. You don't really have a reference. I've also just marked those. Oven's on. I'm going to go down and start cooking them. Yeah, that's going easier. Trying to keep these marks lined up. Still springing back a little, and yet the oven is definitely on higher than it was before. I think I'll put that back in. I'm not going to increase the temperature. If you can just see, it's just not, when I'm bending it around, it's springing back a little bit. Hopefully this will be last go for this one. Line my marks up. bit into shape. No, it's still springing back. Definitely need a few more degrees on here. I can feel that's really soft now. It's just a few degrees difference makes quite a difference to its, I don't know what's the proper word, plasticity? Or am I making words up? Let's have a look and see. Okay, so it's slightly too large, which is obviously what we wanted. So I think we're probably okay with this. Let's just get the other one. Yeah, so there's the other one. I think we're going to be okay. It's a little gap, but obviously we're going to have edging on here, so I think I'll spend a bit of time just getting that to fit quite nicely. And I've got some edging, very pretty edging. I think I might get onto my mates at Car Builder Solution and order up some, well, see what edging they've got actually, because I think I want to keep it fairly minimal, because we've got going to have edging that way and that way. I don't want it being too deep, as it's going to look quite bulky, isn't it? I think we will wrap this video up. I was hoping this video was going to include me having the car kind of ticking over and, you know, running okay, but obviously with the heat this week and I'm going to be careful about the noise I'm making, that's not going to happen. So fingers crossed that'll be next one. I should catch you later. Bye.